when we feel a sense of rejection, our brain perceives it in the same way that it perceives a physical threat. When you watch, if you watch our brain waves on a little cute little TV screen, like a gadget, it shows similar waves, brain waves, as if we were being physically threatened. And so this sense of rejection is a physiological response. So there's a rejection, the no, and then there's the physiological response of rejection. So there's some narrative that goes with it. It's the meaning that you give to that no. It's when we start using the no as an evaluative statement about ourselves instead of receiving it with agency, personal agency that says, for example, this wasn't for me. Maybe next time. I have some improvements to make. And so maybe it stings for an hour, maybe 24 hours, because it was a big job we really wanted, but it doesn't stay with us as a statement of our worth. And so if we're positioned in the world or we don't feel like it's safe to say no, saying no has not been safe to you, it has meant that at least your perception has been, or your reality has been that someone's going to reject you, someone's going to be mad at you, someone's not going to like you, someone's going to punish you. So you've never learned. Yeah, I'll say yes next time. Maybe I'll offer something, some alternative, but I'm doing what's best for me and I'm not considering you.
A lot of times I've done this where it's like I've done whatever it is for whoever, right? And so when I come with my expectation is, well, I did A, B, C, D, and I don't tell this to the person, but in my mind, I'm coming with this request, right? My whole thing is, you need to say yeah. Like I'm expecting yeah, I'm not even expecting a no. Like you just never say no, even though you want to say no. And then when you ask somebody who you always doing or whoever it is, right? And then they say no, you just like, what do you mean no? Let's talk about rejection and expectation.
All right. So everyone has the inherent right, I'll say, to take care of themselves, not to take care of you. People are not for sale. That's so important to remember. People are not for sale. I don't care how high of a price you feel like you have paid for this person. I don't care if they came from your womb and you fed them for 21 years and paid their college tuition. They were never for sale. I don't care if you took care of them for 30 years and put food on their table and took them all around the world. People are not for sale. People are not for sale. So there is no amount of things that you could have done that make someone then owe you something because they were never for sale. So that's important to remember in your giving. So when if we say we're givers, then that means you give from the heart. Otherwise, you're just a manipulator. If you have expectations behind it, you're not a giver, you're a manipulator. And you're upset because your manipulation didn't work. Right. People don't owe us things. Now, people serve us according to their needs. This is so harsh for some people to hear, not according to your needs. People are always going to serve you from their needs, not from your needs. So again, it doesn't matter how much you have poured into their cup. They're going to pour into their cup some more. So you get to decide how you will remain in relationship with people based on what you have to give and what you deem you. So they said, no, why does that hurt you so much? It could be, for example, that I am constantly, recklessly giving of my time, energy, money, and resources. Right? And I have to look at who I'm giving to and why I'm giving in places that the return doesn't seem worth it. I have to look at that. Who am I being friends with? And how am I showing up? I get to look at that. That's an invitation for me to look at. So maybe next time I can do something different or show up differently.
Mhm.
Why am I getting that rejection? Same thing as a job. Do I just keep sending out the same old resume to 100 people? I'll do better if after each rejection, I look at my resume, compare what I'm doing, and do something different. If I don't, I'm likely to end up with 200 rejections instead of just 100. So it's an invitation for us to decide, is there a way that we want to choose to show up differently to better the odds of us getting what we want from people? Rejection is a part of life. It's for grown-ups. Got to learn how to stand in the fire and not get burned. We have to develop a higher tolerance for rejection in order to reach our full potential. If we're not opening ourselves up to the possibility of rejection, there's a pretty good chance we're not going to reach our full potential. Your full potential does not lie within your comfort zone of complacency. Our tolerance for rejection, it can be so low that it shrinks us into invisibility. And then we wonder why we're not being seen.
Wow. Wow.
Woo. You don't want your rejection tolerance to be so low that you shrink yourself into invisibility.